Hey, troops, Royfield Geeks Adventures. Woohoo! I think we've all been catching up with Stranger Things, season 4. Wow. And if you're wondering, are you going to do a review? No, this is not a review. Um, it's more to talk about just heroes and stuff in general. Um, Before I forget, I'm gonna try and keep this to a minimum, but don't put a spoiler shield up, okay, folks? We're gonna try and keep that to minimum, but just in case, sorry. So hey, you've been warned, all right, everybody. The one in the back who's trying to restart your Netflix subscription so you can watch season 4. Are we good? Okay, y'all been warned. So what got this started? Well, actually, this started a long time ago in 2006. The American Film Institute, they had a list of the 100 film heroes and villains, and it was interesting to look at because I was thinking, oh, of course, you're gonna have guys like Superman and Spider Man, and it was fun to see how even in the top 10 it wasn't the case. Number one, actually, of all people, was Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird, and also Clarice Starling was there, and of course, everyone's favorite alien killer, Ellen Ripley, was there. And I'm kind of huh. I'm like, it's interesting, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Because we do get caught up in that, oh, the giant hammer, the magic rings, the precious rings, the super powered armor, spirit magic helmet, the billionaire with the gadgets. But the greatest form of heroism often comes from folks like this, very ordinary people. A country lawyer who decides, no, we're not going to let this happen. We're stopping this. A a rookie FBI, actually, she's not even an FBI agent. She is a FBI agent in training who dares to match wits with Satan and does pretty dang well. And of course, there's Ellen Ripley. She just wanted to go home after shipping all this ore for the longest time. And if you just listened to her and done the contamination procedures, would have been okay, but no. And, throughout the story, throughout the films, you all have strong opinions about 3 and 4, but, you get the idea that, though, in the end, she relies upon her own personal courage to get through, to face this unspeakable monster, and which is what all of these characters do. Which in the end is what heroism is really about. The ability to overcome, not overcome. We're still petrified. One of the tropes that's thrown around in action films, and I imagine actually is mentioned by folks who are first responders or who are soldiers, that what, it's good to be scared because it keeps you from being stupid. But that doesn't keep you from doing what you gotta do. Also got me thinking about the song that, yes, Master of Puppets, heck yeah. Kate Bush, heck yeah. But the song that keeps on also making the cycle is Heroes, by David Bowie, Brian Eno, and in particular this very haunting version that's got his whole orchestra playing, by Peter Gabriel. Kind of talking about ordinary people being heroes, the capacity for the most important part of heroism. The bling helps, the gear helps, no question, but in the end, it's about the will. It's about will and your wits. The funny thing about, and what I find so endearing and wonderful about Stranger Things, is that that's who our heroes are. I mean, our heroes, they're like the hobbits in Lord of the Rings, okay, except that they're driven by their wits and their D&D manuals. I mean, let's be honest here. How many times are they referring to stuff from the D&D Player's Handbook and from the from the monster guides and stuff? Okay, and fortunately, sort of kind of works. And if you think about it, 11 and Hopped, they're the closest. They're kind of like they're kind of like Gandalf and Aragorn, but everyone else is a hobbit. In the most endearing way, being very ridiculous, very silly, and yet very, very courageous at the most important times. I mean, classic example, Steve Harrington. I mean, seriously, man. It's fun to watch over the years how his character grew. To suddenly becoming the mother hen for everybody. I love the scene in this season where they're at the school trying to dig up all that information, and you hear the noise, and Steve's the one who grabs a frippin' lamp. It's like, dude, you're gonna fight a monster with a lamp, but he does. Oh, he does, because that's how he's changed. That's how he's grown. One of the umpteen things people talk about in these moments is suddenly realize there are things bigger than you are that have to be faced and fought, and that's what he does. And you know who's coming up next, right? Really major spoiler shield time. It's funny, the first time we run into him, kind of being a schmuck in the lunchroom. So I was like, oh great, he's an egotistical DM, wonderful. And then the fun thing is that when Erica joins them for that game of D&D, and he's like, okay, what's your cred here to play? And she just rattles it off, and he's like, all right. And then the coolest thing though is when she and Dustin are trying to take out that monster, the big ultimate boss fight, they're throwing everything at this thing, and they win. And the fact that Eddie, the most important role a DM has is to help his players grow, to help their characters grow. And the smile on his face and the joy he takes in seeing them pull this off is a beautiful thing to watch. And then as the series developed, we talk about spoiler shield, geez, is a wonderful thing. And is the beauty of this story that I'm hammering to death right now, but it bears repeating. On the surface, yes, it's all about giant monsters and all that stuff, but the reality is it's about heroism from very unexpected places. To face your own personal demons, and sometimes literal demons with giant wings and but still doing it anyway because someone has to. Because there are things bigger than you are that have to be faced and conquered. That's the wonderful thing about this show. Why I think people just stick with it, especially at times like right now. Rough, weird times. The reminder that, like Peter Gabriel says in the song, we can be heroes. So I'm gonna go before I start getting really, really too sentimental, and it's late and it's tiring and yada yada yada. So anyway, hey, y'all, take care. All right. Hope the rest of the week goes well. May the force be with you. May the odds be in your favor. Please be good to each other, folks. Please be good to each other. And as always, like Peter Gabriel, David Bowie, and Brian said, let's try and be heroes, all right? Even just for one day. Peace. Bye.